This is a Taiao wānanga. So everything that we do in this space has something to do with the environment. Now some people don't quite understand what it is. So we've got a few things to teach us why it's so important that we have those man-made wetlands. I noticed this gap where the rangatahi were being supported to be in the Taiao, but our tamariki didn't necessarily have that same opportunity in the school holidays. And it was more so the rangatahi wānangas. I wanted to sort of create another space for our tamariki to do similar things, culture-based things, Taiao-based things. And I noticed with our rangatahi is that sometimes we've kind of lost their attention. The magic has gone out of the Taiao, whereas with little kids, the magic's still there. There's so much wonder, it's so many possibilities. So I thought the best way for us to create, just people who love the Taiao is to start when they're little. So that's why I made it 5 to 12. I thought it was so important to have that space represented so that they had opportunities to at least figure out if they wanted to be in the Taiao and be part of the changes that we're trying to make. So that's how it came about.
This is what we call a whaitua or a catchment model. And some of your whānau are much more expert about whaitua and catchments than me, like Auntie Charlie Joe knows a lot more about whaitua catchment. I've been learning, and I tell you what, I didn't know all this stuff when I was your age, so you're the lucky ones learning this early.
It's important that our kids understand what our nannies and koros did. It's important that they understand where food comes from. It's important that they understand the difference between a ngaio and a kahikatea. It's important that they understand migration patterns of tuna and inanga and things like that. It was our tupuna's bread and butter, and so I've not seen it being taught anywhere else. And so the best place for that to be taught is on the marae, in our own spaces from our own people. So that's why I think it's so important. I think one of the biggest achievements is we've enabled cousins to meet cousins. We've got kids who have some really, sad backgrounds, and then we've got kids who are really blessed. And to be able to have those kids side by side, and for the only thing that needs to be in common is that they be from Ngāti Toa, and everything else is, I'm going to get emotional. Sorry. And nothing else matters. It just matters that they belong and that this is their marae, and that all the things that they learned here are important because those are things that their nannies and their koros did. Connection is such a big part of our story, and if we just leave those connections to our nannies and koros and don't maintain them ourselves, then we become so fragmented that it's so hard to pick up the pieces. So I see this place as a real important space to kind of bridge some of those gaps, because our kids just love each other because they're cousins. They don't care what you come with. They just are stoked, that's my cousin. No one needs to know how,
How do they get fat? From eating.
This building has an energy that does something to our tamariki that's real special. They might not understand how special it is at the time, but when they're older they'll remember and they'll know that it was special.